Hey everyone, this is Carla, and welcome to an all new episode of Projectized, the Project Management Show. So, for this episode, this Monday, if you know anything about fashion, we are currently at the beginning of Fashion Month. So, Fashion Month is there are 4 fashion weeks: New York, London, Paris, and Milan. So, we're currently in New York Fashion Week. And this week, I opened up because I'm a member of the Project Management Institute in the September issue of our membership magazine. And I wanted to cover this because it was timely. They had an article talking about Europe's most famous fashion houses trying to do restoration of century old landmarks like Chanel's apartment in time for Paris to host the 2024 Summer Olympics. So this time next year would be the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo, and Paris will get them in 2024. So I felt that this was very timely about how you use project management outside of, say, the traditional industries such as like construction, heavy manufacturing. I'm going to read something from the PM Network. Several outfits such as L'Oreal, Toto, DC Decor, Louis Vuitton, and Kering have pledged millions of euros to restart renovation at Notre Dame Cathedral after a fire in April torched it. And Louis Vuitton even offered France access to its creative architecture and financial experts for the rebuilding effort. So the fashion-funded renovation projects, they believe, are win-win propositions because those rehabilitated and rebuilt structures can help drive tourism and they can preserve landmarks without having to drain government finances that can be used for day-to-day infrastructure needs. So what they're doing is it's a private partnership. So you have the private fashion house enterprises refurbishing a lot of these historic landmarks so that the government, their respective governments, can apply the infrastructure to like daily life, like subways, sidewalks, roads, things that people use every day that aren't historical landmarks. And I felt that that was a good usage of project management because it was timely and as I mentioned, this was New York Fashion Week. However, they did say that given the fashion houses eccentricity and being on top and being lavish and having those type of sponsors, and Notre Dame Cathedral and the other historical landmarks being affiliated or refurbished by these fashion houses, uh, they say it adds another level of complexity for project managers. And as you know, complexity is not good for projects because 90% of your job as a project manager is communication. Whenever things become complex, that means the communication channels get larger and larger. So we have a communications uh, formula that I did in a previous one. I'm probably link it if this is going through YouTube Live, but every time you add a communication channel or complexity, it gets bigger and bigger. And PM Network goes on to say, establishing decision-making boundaries help project managers set and maintain reasonable expectations throughout when fashion-first sponsors are involved. And this is one of the company's technical directors doing the historic renovation. The technical director has also worked with several of the fashion houses, such as Prada and Versace. So they feel that he has a lot of, experience. Furthermore, he helped the fashion fund sponsors navigate the stakeholders, which is very important because in the beginning of all projects, you have to identify stakeholders, and stakeholder identification is not static, it's dynamic. There are 5 different processing groups initiating where identifying stakeholder project management process is located. And the problem a lot of people do is only stop there. You don't. There's 5. So there's the second one is planning, third one is executing, fourth one is planning, monitoring, controlling, the fifth one is closing. And at each processing group, you have to make sure that you do manage the project and identify the stakeholders. So he said, getting the approval of the superintendents for archaeology fine arts and landscape in Italy, as well as structural engineer, plant engineer, diagnostic experts, firefighter experts, and safety coordinators didn't prevent that project from finishing on schedule. It happens. On projects with multiple public and high profile private stakeholders, the technical director sees himself as a consultant with the common sense and ability to mediate between different problems and utilities in the interest of the client, the historical building, and the community. Well, that's actually no different than what we have here in the United States. We have a historical fund, and oftentimes how you treat a building you built today is different building code than one that's over 100 or 200 years old. So some of the things that they've done is the Grand Palais, which is in Paris, France, and the fashion sponsor was Chanel, and they gave 30 million euro out of the 500 million euro budget, and is scheduled to launch in 2020. Another one is Capitoline Hill, which is in Rome, Italy. The fashion sponsor was Gucci, and it's scheduled to be completed in 2020. And then Todd, the shoemaker, is sponsoring the budget of 25 million euro for the Colosseum in Rome, Italy. And phase 2 was completed 2 years ago in 2017. So I wanted to bring this aspect of project management, how businesses use project management, for this episode of Projectized, since this is Fashion Month and the first of the 4 fashion weeks, which is New York Fashion Week, is happening right now. So this is your episode of Projectized. My name is Carla R. Jenkins, and you can watch us from Mondays through Fridays, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, you can sign up for the free project management newsletter at bit.ly/PM project mail. Finally, if you would like to work with me, you can get in touch with me at carlarjenkins.com. Thanks for watching.